if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. Now here is a sign I got at the 99-cent only store for $1.99. I fell in love with that frame. It's not the frame, it's like the inside cardboard piece. It kind of looks like faux metal. At Christmas time in particularly, I love to capture some of that merry old England Charles Dickens vibe. So the first thing that I did was I tore out the glass. That's got to go. And then I painted the back cardboard black. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the Home Depot paint and go around the edge here. Now this is Home Depot Boo Boo paint. I get it for 50 cents. It's 4 times the amount of the apple barrel paint, and it's a great deal for crafting, so make sure you check it out. We're at the Home Depot there and see if there's some there for you. It usually comes in neutral colors. It's high quality paint, and it's usually matte too, so a nice flat paint for you. And now I'm distressing the actual frame, and I'm adding a little bit of the apple barrel paint in nutmeg, my favorite color for doing faux rust. But I'm looking to make it look rusted, but also to tie it in with the next step that I'm going to do. So I'm kind of trying to do 2 things at once here. And I'm putting the frame back on, and now I'm going to take the Dollar Tree wood little pieces there and lay out a Christmas tree. Make sure that you lay everything down first before you commit with gluing, because these pieces have little subtle curvature in it, so you want the curves to go in the right direction. It kind of aids like the look. You can either make it work for you or make it work against you. So it's good to go through and try different pieces, move them around and lay them where you want it. And then I stand up so that I have a full view and make sure that I'm gluing everything down just perfect. You can also just go out to Mother Nature and cut some sticks down and do this craft too. And you can get a frame at the Dollar Tree, or a garage sale, thrift store. This is a craft for everybody. Oh, I love the way this next DIY comes out. You're going to need a Dollar Tree charger plate, and I'm just going to take it and paint it white with my homemade chalk paint. Next, using some more of that nutmeg brown from Apple Barrel, I'm going to lightly paint the edges. I want to bring out these really pretty little bumps that they have. They have like little beads that are part of the plate, and I think that looks really decorative and pretty. It's just naturally there. So I just kind of tapped it out and softly put that on, and I'm sticking with a nutmeg brown because I think it's nice and warm, like cinnamon for the winter. It's just kind of a nice color. Now these were some picks from Walmart. Walmart had absolutely gorgeous winter picks. I had no idea. I went in there for something completely unrelated after Christmas and turned around and saw that, or maybe it was like a few days before Christmas, but it was after the Christmas rush, and I didn't expect to find that. I thought they would all be sold out, but they were flocked pieces of pine and really, really beautiful. And I was originally going to paint pine trees on this plate, and I decided to knock it up a notch and actually make a 3D version of that by using these little floral picks. I hope the camera picks them up because they are beautifully frosted, and you can see how I'm just cutting pieces of it. I kind of cut off the end of that thick plastic piece. It's really simple to do, and then I glue that fragile top little thin piece up at the center to cover that and make it look like a tall pine tree, leaving the thick part down below as the trunk. And I do that with 2 other small pieces too, and you can see that one's curved there. So I'm showing you, I'm going to snip off little pieces right there to make this fit in the plate better, but you need to save those pieces if you decide to do this craft, because there's some bald spots that you have to fill in afterwards to make it look like a pine tree. So I'm just straightening it out there with some hot glue. It's that simple. And you're going to see me add those little pieces back in on both of the small little side trees there to fill them out and make them look like pine trees. Oh, and I forgot to mention the reason I was so excited about finding these pigs is they were 97 cents. So like all we crafters do, we step back and look, and if it's missing something, we add it in. I decide to take some more of the nutmeg brown and give it a nice inner shadow, like a nice, I guess, border on the inside, because it was just missing something. It was a little bit too white, and that was it, and I think it came up so beautiful. For this craft, you're going to need this Dollar Tree little mini window, some Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and a winter scene of your choice. I found this under copyright-free images, and some wooden crates. Now, if you're really savvy, you could cut this window out of a foam board or cardboard even. I've shown you guys tricks on how to make cardboard look like wood using spackling or joint compound. If you're in the UK or international, I think you call it a multi-purpose filler or a polyfilla, I think. Polyfilla. And so that hopefully will help some people out there watching. You can do that as well. So if you don't have this little window, don't let it stop you. Just find a pattern online and go ahead and cut it out using a utility knife. But I saved this when I found it in spring. I saw it and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a quick coat of white paint. And now, taking these little plastic beads from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to go ahead and decorate my Dollar Tree wooden Christmas trees and make them look more festive. Now, I think some of you came on and said you call them Mardi Gras beads. On the West Coast, we call them mariachi beads. I have a feeling they've got a couple different names depending on where you live. But they're just those little plastic beads that you can find at the Dollar Tree. For my Dollar Trees, these are usually all year round as well. So again, you could substitute these Christmas trees using cardboard or foam board if you cover the edges with these beads. So I'm just kind of doing this. There's no rhyme and reason here. I just want to get it on the tree and make it have some texture and some more festivity. Next, I'm going to use some white paint and paint my Christmas trees. Now, when these dry, I actually end up getting a happy little surprise, which you'll see later. But first, we're going to take the wooden crates here, and we're going to paint them white and let those dry, set those aside. And now we're going to place that window down onto my winter scene where I'd like it to be, cut it out, and glue that on the back of the frame. So we have this right here. Now here's my happy accident, you guys. They dried and you can actually see the bead colors through, which I thought was pretty, and it picked up the colors in the print that I chose, so I left it. And I'm just spraying some of the Dollar Tree glue down so that I can sprinkle some of the Dollar Tree snow on top to make these look a little bit more holiday-ish. And I'm taking some burnt umber and distressing the beads just a little bit. And then I'm going to glue the trees on either side of the window. Once I've done that, I fill the little boxes up with some holiday florals. Nice little trick too, I just use a permanent red marker to tap on the berries if some of the red has chipped off and the foam is showing, but that's it. And I think this came up so pretty. Here's the online inspiration piece. They are oversized farmhouse Christmas trees. I think they are so cute. So I'm spraying some metallic silver spray on black poster board and blotting it off with a paper towel. And I'm showing you both black and white poster board because I tried both to see what look I would get, to see which one I liked better. I ended up going with the black one because I thought it looked more like aged metal, even maybe galvanized metal. It's probably a stretch for galvanized because it doesn't have the little amoeba shapes, but we're getting there. I mean, it was pretty, it's a fast way to get the aged metal look, and that's good enough for what I'm doing. And now I'm just taking the foam tree from the Dollar Tree. That comes in a set. I think it's 6, it might be 8, but I'm using it as a pattern. You could just hold a piece of paper up to your computer screen and get a pattern of a Christmas tree online. You don't have to print anything up. You don't have to have that foam Christmas tree. I'm just using it for, a little template so that I can cut out my metal tree. Now, the one thing I will say that I learned doing this is I would suggest that you fold your poster board first and then cut it out, trace your shape and cut it out, because once you cut out your shape and you try to fold it, you have all these little fragile edges that want to tear, and they almost did. I was very stressed. Luckily we got through it, but it made it a lot harder than it needed to be. So here I am, I'm just giving it a light coat of the white chalk paint. That is my homemade chalk paint again, and I'm using the color Country Tan by Apple Barrel Paint to paint a little bit of dry brushing on there and, give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of a more rustic look. Here's some Dollar Tree pine. I'm just trimming down a little bit to make it fit more with this craft. It does make it look more expensive, but if you want a bigger pine, then of course that kind of sabotages that. So another way to get this pine to look more expensive is you can just flock it with some white spray paint or some green spray paint if it's a better color. And you actually get a really neat pine look where it's like it has dimension because it's different shades of green. I've done all kinds of things to dress this pine up, you guys, and it's great for crafts. I actually love it. So now I'm just using some of the Walmart twine because I wanted it a little bit thicker because this tree is, kind of big and heavier looking than the ornaments were. And I'm topping it with the Dollar Tree little sticker snowflake that comes in a set, and the little Dollar Tree pine cones on the top. I just think this came out so cute. I do have the mini bells from the Dollar Tree, and I was debating whether I should do those, but I couldn't find them. So I ended up going with the pine cones, which I think came out totally rustic cute. And now I'm just gluing a little bit of spare wood on the back that I had to help it stand up straight on its own. And I end up taking the color nutmeg and going around the edges of this tree just to add a little bit more dimension, kind of like a faux rust, because I liked that. You don't have to do that. It looks really nice without it. It's optional, but I just end up wanting to make it look a little bit older. For this craft, you're going to need one of these Dollar Tree tinsel trees, and I end up cutting off the tinsel and removing it. I take the Nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. Well, you'll see what I do. And here's a nice little trick that I do whenever I do these wrap crafts. I call them wrap crafts, like W-R-A-P. Get a lot of wrap in there. I cut the very end at an angle so that it's really easy to glue down and camouflage, and it blends in really well. It blends in better than if you just cut it straight across. And I'm just going to go ahead and seal up the bottom here and get it all to kind of blend in and finish off the edges. And that's what we have so far. So this tree needs a topper, of course, and I agonized over this. I stared at it and stared at it. I thought bells, no. Oh, I almost did a pom-pom, but I thought I'm not sure she'll like that. So I opted to do the traditional star and just put it in a neutral color. This is also from the Dollar Tree. It's their little Christmas confetti. They're great for DIYs and Christmas decor. And I just end up needing to put a little bit of a filler at the top to get the star to stick really nicely. And what I decide to do is use a little bit of leftover mop thread because it's really small, and see how I'm kind of squishing it together. I'm making a point, and that tucks up underneath the bottom of the star perfectly and holds it in place. This is such a cute, simple craft, and if you're into neutrals for Christmas decor, I really couldn't recommend this anymore. It would be great on a bedside table, in an entry table, just super, super classy looking. For this craft, you're going to need some Dollar Tree jute twine, although you can get the twine anywhere. It's not just an exclusive Dollar Tree item. And I did try to do this craft by eye, and I ended up using craft sticks and cutting them down in little cascading lengths to get it so that it came out more perfect because it wasn't working the other way. And all I'm doing here is I'm just wrapping my twine around the craft stick, and I'm going to make little tiny jute twine bows because I thought they would be so cute in different lengths to make a very rustic Christmas tree, to make a Christmas tree ornament with. So I floated back and forth between making a Christmas tree ornament and making a 3-tier tray decoration. So I'm going to run down how I would have made the 3-tier tray decoration for those of you that look forward to that. You go ahead and you make these bows in all the different little cascading shapes, and then you're going to take your craft stick there, and of course I'm going to go ahead and make a little quick stain here with a little bit of burnt umber and a little drop of black paint. You can see what I'm doing, and I add some water to it, and that's just a really quick, cute, rustic stain for the trunk of these trees. But you're going to glue the twine on the front and the back if you want it for a 3-tier tray decoration, and then you just hold it up with some little towering blocks on the bottom there. You just make a little platform. I just thought that would be such a cute Christmas tree. And you know what? You can decorate it with bows, jewels, buttons. You know, sky's the limit. Just use your imagination. They are so much fun to make. And you can even leave them one-dimensional like I am and mat them on a canvas, on a piece of wood, hang them on the wall as a picture. They're just super cute little farmhouse rustic trees. I love this craft. You saw me there cutting the Dollar Tree ribbon up the center to make a thinner little lace ribbon, and I'm using the same craft stick to wrap around and around here, and I'm just going to make like a little miniature floral bow for the top of one of these trees. And then I find a super cute like rustic metal button in my button collection. I don't even know how it got there, but it was perfect for the center of this bow. It comes up super cute, you guys. For the second tree, I decided to go for one of those little Dollar Tree stickers for the top, but sky's the limit, you guys. Use your imagination. You can top this with so many things. I even considered collecting some little mini sticks and making like a little tiny mini star out of it and then putting it on the top, but just have fun and use your imagination. That's what crafting is all about, but these were so much fun to make. And you just put a little hanger on the back. Again, mine are Christmas tree ornaments if you're not doing that, but check these out, you guys. They came out absolutely beautiful and totally farmhouse rustic. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little short on Christmas accent pillows. So I thought I'd make one because when you price them at the store, they're just too much money. I cannot stand buying pillows. I have like a, oh, I get so frustrated when I see the prices because they're usually so expensive even at Walmart or cheaper places. And I end up buying cheap Walmart bed pillows. So the indoor ones, I usually just buy a pillow from Walmart. I've been doing that since the 1990s. The pillows in the center aisle in those big bins, they're always so cheap and they're often cheaper than the polyfiber fill. So after I cut out a pattern for my Christmas tree and I changed it up a little bit, I just used, the Dollar Tree little wooden ornament for a rough sketch, and then I chose some Christmassy plaid material, and now I'm just going to use hot glue and glue the little, I think it's like a washing cloth from the Dollar Tree for cars, but it works beautiful for it's really big when you unfold it, and it works perfect for an accent pillow for Christmas. And of course it's got that really warm, cozy, fuzzy look like snow. So I saw it and I thought, ooh, that would make a good pillow. I've been wanting to do this since summer. Now, I will tell you, I was skeptical about using a hot glue gun. I know there's hot glue for cloth and, it's washable. And I thought, oh, what if this comes apart? Well, anyway, you guys, at some point during this craft, I changed my mind and I started to attempt to pull the Christmas trees off. And then I thought, okay, all right, whatever. I'll just undo the edges of the white fiber cloth. Anyway, nothing would budge. No matter how hard I pulled, I would have damaged the cloth on both counts, the plaid and the little fuzzy white wash, whatever that is, that cloth. So you're definitely committed when you use hot glue. You will not have to worry about anything falling off. I don't know if it washes, but I suspect if you wash it in cold water, if you can't pull it apart when you're pulling that hard, I suspect you could wash this in cold water and it would work just fine. So I decided to take a brown permanent marker and just edge the edges a little bit. Now, word of warning, if you want to overstuff your pillow, I recommend you wait to do any kind of edge with a marking pen after you stuff your pillow, and that way it won't spread apart and move away from the edge there. But I love this pillow. It came up so cute. For this next DIY, you're going to need the Dollar Tree Christmas tree form, and you could also just make it out of poster board if you want to get a cone shape or a foam cone shape. Any cone shape would work for this. This is actually my daughter's favorite DIY. She loves this. So I start off by taking all of the garland off, and that's what you end up with. And I decide to go ahead and paint it white because for what I'm going to do, I kind of can foresee that if there's some peekaboo areas, it's going to be, not noticeable if we paint it white and very noticeable if we don't. So I start off with my chalk paint again, paint it white. And now I'm going to use the Dollar Tree mop heads, and you clip those off. They've made them better quality, which is the good news. The bad news is I'm finding them harder to clip off. The little plastic piece in there, I really had to really work it to get it off, but it came off. And I tie 3 of them together. So I start off by tying them at the top with a knot there. So there's a little bit hanging on the top because that's going to be the top of my tree. And then I braid them with 3. And I want to do, well, you'll see, I do an even 4 of these on either side. So I do one on one side, then the opposite side, and then on the sides, I do the exact same thing. So we have that frame to start with. On the opposite sides, I don't have that long plastic piece running down, so you saw I just added a little bit of glue on the middle circles there to hold it in place. So after I start off with that 4-point frame, I want to fill it in, but I want to do it with different sizes. I don't want to do just the thin braid because real sweaters kind of look more knotty and they have texture around the arms. There's seams that might have a different knit or stitch. So I wanted that look. So I end up taking 2 of the yarn threads, gluing them together, and then gluing 3 of those together for a total of 6 strands altogether. But you can see I'm grabbing 2 of them at a time now and braiding them because I want a much chunkier knit. So here comes the important part of this tutorial. You can't go all the way to the top because it would be too thick. So you go as high as you can, and you're pinching the top of your little braid together and kind of spreading the other pieces apart, gluing the sides with the hot glue like you saw me do. I guess that's why we film it. So some things you can't explain, you definitely have to see it. And you'll see how I'm just gently manipulating it to disappear into the other threads. I'm pushing it over to straighten it. I'm just taking my time and gluing on the plastic on the side of the yarn. It's all designed to hold it in place and make it look like a solid unit. And when I'm all done filling everything in, I just go around and look for any areas where there might be a bigger hole, add a little bit of glue, stretch the yarn out a little bit, pinch it together. Again, really easy to manipulate the yarn thread because it is bulky and kind of stretchy and puffy, and so you can loosen your braids gently. Just be gentle with everything. I wasn't too hysterical about, if there's little holes here and there, because that's what a real sweater is. I just wanted most of it glued together to add stability and obviously to make it look like it's more solid. And you just have to be, again, really, really gentle with everything. And you can manipulate the thread. You can loosen the braids really gently to make everything come together that way. So now I'm just taking and cutting the top of the tree to give it a little haircut and make it nice and even, and that's it. I think this is so cute. For this DIY, I'm using a Dollar Tree palette, and I paint it black, and I get some of the white yarn from the Dollar Tree as well. And we're just going to go ahead and make little tassels for this tree. This is actually a 3-tiered tray, or a tiered tray decor piece. It's perfect for winter, nice and tiny. It's perfect for a floating shelf. You can put it on a mantle, you can put it anywhere, but it is a tinier craft because the palettes from the Dollar Tree are tiny, so they're perfect for that kind of use. So there's lots of videos out there on how to make tassels. I do mine super simple. I just wrap them around my fingers. They don't have to be perfect for me anyway, because I'm going to trim them at the end, and I just tied it on the top there. I made 3 of them, and I'm going to glue them up, cascading upwards to make a little yarn pine tree. And then using some of the Dollar Tree black ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and garnish it with some black ribbon and white beads. And I chose yarn to make this because I think yarn is perfect for winter. We kind of knit our sweaters out of it. Our sweaters are made out of it, even the store-bought ones. So it just kind of ties that whole theme in of that coziness. And I think it's super cute. This is a leftover wine bag for those of you that watched my Christmas video where I used a wine bag and wrapped it around a Dollar Tree sign. That is a little bit of the trim there that's kind of thicker, and I thought it would make a perfect trunk for this tree. And we're all done. For this craft, you're going to need a Dollar Tree Christmas tree and some Dollar Tree potpourri, although you can use any potpourri from anywhere. Every year I try to figure out a very festive, decorative way to get beautiful scents of the holidays in my bathroom and around my home, and I like to disguise them so they don't look real obvious. I used to just put a bowl of potpourri in my bathroom or light a candle, but now I try to put it in a way where it looks pretty still and festive. So I just take the potpourri, and you can see what I'm doing here. I just put like a garland on this tree, and now I'm using some of the sisal rope and I'm gluing that down as well, which I also like the smell of that. I think that smells really fresh, like hay, and the combination of smells right now as I'm crafting are really, really pretty and soft. You can also take some essential oil and add a little bit more on the potpourri if it fades out before Christmas, but this is just a really clever way to disguise an air freshener in your bathroom or around your home, and it's fun to make too. And I'm just using the sisal rope now at the bottom for the little trunk area of the tree. And now I'm just gluing 3 of the towering wooden blocks together on the back so that this tree will stand up on its own. And I'm taking the garland of pit berries from the Dollar Tree and wrapping it around the tree just for a little bit more embellishment and, you know, festive colors for Christmas. I made a really simple bow out of the Dollar Tree jute twine. I end up making 2 bows to kind of make this more, I guess, thicker and heavier on the top, because after I was done, I didn't like it. The potpourri was kind of, you know, it's a very heavy look, so I felt like it needed more on the top, and you can see it right there. And that's it. Came out super, super cute.